like as far as me like recording and making music, I'm gonna have to figure out, exactly how long I've been doing that. But for a long time, it was just strictly me writing, songs and writing without, like, I went a long time just writing lyrics and not ever recording them, and having journals full of stuff and not ever recording that stuff and throwing that journal away and writing more stuff. So I wrote pounds of, paper. I used to just, listen to a beat and write to the beat, but for whatever reason, I just never ended up recording it. And then at a certain point, I was able to start recording, but not while I was like really young, At a certain point, I met a guy named Mr. Rennick, and I guess he was in some kind of music department, and he just let me, I ended up finding out he had a studio. I ended up going to record in his studio. He had an actual studio, a real professional studio. I don't even remember if I paid for the studio time. I might have paid for some. I can't remember if I paid for it or not. I think I paid for some, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know. Like, I end up going to record in his studio. I guess he recorded bands and stuff. I don't think he recorded a lot of rappers, I think I was probably one of the only rappers that recorded in his studio. But he let me record in it, I didn't have a way to get to that studio. He used to pick me up, and he was an older guy. Like, he used to pick me up and I ride with him to the studio, and I record the tracks. I did a mixtape in his studio, just one. And that was the first mixtape I did, and I don't know, I don't know. But as far as me recording songs, starting off, like, I didn't go a continuous period recording songs. It's like 1 year I was recording, another year I wasn't, another year I'm back recording more songs, another year I'm not really recording that much. It was sporadic how I was recording these songs that I made. But like, I started off with 6 mixtapes. I'm just gonna say mixtapes, 6 bodies of work. And it just so happened to be that number. It just so happened. But 6 bodies of work. Okay. And as I'm going through it, I'm thinking I'm a decent rapper. I did a couple of performances. I'm thinking I'm okay. I know I still have felt like I wrote some songs that wasn't that good. I wasn't at the point where like I'm really listening to myself consistently. I'm thinking I'm okay, and I'm thinking that I got bars, but I still know, and I still need to grow as I'm making these mixtapes and these songs and things. Okay, and the 6 mixtapes, that ends up being around 46 songs. I believe it's 46 songs. So looking back on it now, I consider those songs to be practice songs. But while I was making them, I'm thinking, I'm all good. These are all good. I'm going to put all these out professionally and try to earn money off all of them. But I'm not thinking that now, though, Because, looking back now, it's been some years since I put out some of that music. So me looking back on it now, feeling like I got better, looking back on them now, some of them songs I'm listening to, I'm like, nah, I ain't putting that out. I'm deleting that, or I'm dropping that, or I'm making that private. I'm not putting that out. And then there's some songs I'm like, okay, I was still coming with it on that track and on that track and on that track. But, it's like a weeding out process with those songs that I want to keep and don't keep. But that was like my practice. I thought I was starting. I thought I was starting the journey and starting everything, but nah, I ended up having to halt again. I ended up having to halt. And so that wasn't the starting point that I thought it was. Then after I made those 6, you know, bodies of work, there was one song out of there I really was trying to push called Bad Girl. I was really trying to push that song. So I put that on Spotify. I used, a website, put it on, different streaming platforms. I put that song on different streaming platforms, and I'm proceeding to, somewhat try to push it. But for whatever reason, I got halted again. I think the reason was, as you're making music, and this is what I had found out, while you're being a rapper and making music, if you're not signed, you're not getting paid for your rapping. You're not getting paid for your music. You're paying for the studio time, because that's what I'm starting to see. Like, okay, the beats cost money, and then there's a contract that comes with the beats. Do you want to lease it? Do you want to own it? Do you want to own it? You want to be the only one that owns it? You paying for studio time, you paying for beats, you paying for mix and mastering. So that's when I'm learning all this stuff while I'm making these 6 bodies of work. I'm learning about the costs and learning that it's not so easy to get paid from this music that I've been paying to make. So I paid to make those 46 songs, and I didn't get paid anything from those 46 songs. And so figuring that out is like, and I have to figure out my lifestyle. How do I want to live? How am I going to make money if this rapping thing is not making me money? I'm seeing these other guys have this, that, get signed, have this, that, I ain't signed. So how am I supposed to live? I got to go find a career path, so that's what halted me, not making money off the music I was trying to make. And also, every place of employment that you get, not every place of employment is open to their employees being a rapper or being a known rapper, or finding out their employee is that and seeing what he's saying. So there's another catch-22. How can I pull this off, and what place will allow me to pull this off? How can I figure this out? That was just something else. And how can I be, independent and make some money? Because things have started changing over from, at first people were selling CDs out their car and selling CDs, and things were changing. It was going to streaming. The streaming platforms where you're getting 1% of 1%, or you know what I'm saying, you're getting less than a penny per stream. And I don't have this huge marketing budget, and where am I going to get this money to market my music? And there's all these questions that I have, and that I have to figure out how I can maneuver and make this make sense. But meanwhile, while I'm doing this, I'm still off and on making music, just continually to make music, just because I didn't ever want to get to the point where I felt rusty. I just didn't want to get to that point where I'm rusty at making songs, rusty at, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to kind of at least stay halfway on point with it. If not, but I still want to stay the most on point, because I feel like I have bars, and I feel like